Okay, then he continues on, says, कौन है तारक आईने रसूल मुख्तार, मसलहत वक्त की है किसके अमल का मयार, किसकी आंखों में समाया है शार अगयार, हो गई किसकी निगाह तर्ज सल्फ से बेजार, कल्ब में सोज नहीं रूह में एहसास नहीं, कुछ भी पैगाम मोहम्मद का तुम्हें पास नहीं. So he's saying that who is the one that is denying or in denial of the constitution of the prophet, the chosen prophet, Rasul Mukhtar. Um, who is the one, instead of doing truth and justice, they're stuck in the need and the wisdom of the time, meaning they're bending truth and not doing justice because of what the time or what the place is demanding. um, who's the one that has internalized, like aankhon mein samaya, it's not just looking with the eyes, but it's actually taking in and accepting and internalizing the legacy, the ways of others, not like not Muslims. And who's the one whose vision or has been has felt or has gone away, or has felt irritated by the ways of the elders, the Salaf, referring to the Sahaba and the previous generations. Um, your heart doesn't have the pain, your soul doesn't have the emotions, and you have no care or concern for the message that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought to you. And again, this is a response to what was said in Shikwa. Like, you might be Muslims, but you don't have the internalized message of Islam. जाके होते हैं मसाजिद में सफ़े आरा तो गरीब, ज़हमत रोज़ा जो करते हैं गवारा तो गरीब, नाम लेता है अगर कोई हमारा तो गरीब, पर्दा रखता है अगर कोई तुम्हारा तो गरीब, उमरा नशे दौलत में है गाफिल हमसे, जिंदा है मिल्लत बेजा गुरबा के दम से. So he's saying that the reality is the people who are actually going to the mosques and praying are the ones who are poor. People who are actually taking on the difficulty of fasting are the ones who are poor. The ones who are calling out to my name are the poor ones, the needy. The ones who are actually covering up your sins and your shortcomings are the ones are poor ones. And what are the rich ones doing umrah? They are umrah are intoxicated with wealth, and they are unaware of us. The light of the millat, the Muslim nation, it exists because of the soul, or it is alive because of the soul of the poor ones. Like, the poor ones are the ones that are doing, the work that is necessary for Muslims, all Muslims to do. वाइज़ कौम की वो पुख्ता ख्याली न रही, वाइज़ कौम की वो पुख्ता ख्याली न रही, बर्क तबई न रही, शौला मुक़ाली न रही, रह गई रस्म अज़ां रूह बिलाली न रही, फ़लसफ़ा रह गया तलक़ीन गज़ाली न रही, मस्जिदें मरसिया ख़वाहें के नमाजी न रहे, यानी वो साहिब औसाफ हिजाज़ी न रहे. He's saying that the preachers of the people of the nation don't have that strong mind and the thoughts, the strength in their thoughts anymore. The personality, which was like a lightning, right? Which when they said something, when these preachers use their words, it would cast fire in the hearts of people. That doesn't exist anymore. The azan that's being called, the call of prayer, is just a tradition now. It doesn't have the soul of Bilal radiallahu an, that would awaken the hearts of people, for example. There's philosophy, but it doesn't have the inspiration of Ghazali anymore. Um, mosques are lamenting for the dead, Marcia Khan, and that there are there's no one who's praying anymore. Meaning, even though people might be there, but they're not actually they don't carry the internal qualities. Meaning, the people sahib osaf hijazi na rahe, meaning people who have should have the attributes of the predecessors, the companions of the prophet, they don't exist any longer. That's what the mosques are lamenting for. That's why they're sad about. शोर है हो गए दुनिया से मुसलमान नाबूद, हम ये कहते हैं कि थे भी कहीं मुस्लिम मौजूद, वज़ में तुम वज़ा में तुम हो नसारा तो तमद्दुन में हनूद, ये मुसलमान हैं जिन्हें देख के शर्माएं यहूद, यूं तो सैयद भी हो मिर्ज़ा भी हो अफ़गान भी हो, तुम सभी कुछ हो बताओ तो मुसलमान भी हो. So he's saying that it is known, or people are screaming that Muslims are extinct from this world now, and we're saying that did Muslims even exist in this world? Based on their actions and their character. Um, in your manners, you became Christians, and in your traditions and culture, you became Hindus. Um, these are the type of Muslims that even if the Yahud, if the Jews were to look at them, they would feel ashamed. Um, and then the response is that, look, yeah, in one way you call yourself Sayyids and Mirza and Afghan, meaning you've divided yourselves into these groups and nations and whatnot, identities. You're everything, but to Musalman bhi ho, like you're everything. But tell me, are you actually even a Muslim? The one who is unified in the belief in Allah and submits. दमे तकरीर थी मुस्लिम की सदाकत बेबाक, अदल इसका अदल उसका था कवि लो से मरात से पाक, शजर फितरत मुस्लिम था हया से नमनाक, था शुजाअत में वो एक हस्ती फ़ौकुल अदराक, खुद गदाजी न में कैफियत सहबाइश بود खुद गदाजी न में कैफियत सहबाइश بود, खाली az ख्वेश शुदन सूरत मीनाइश بود. These last two lines are in Farsi. The first four lines are actually quite interesting, because what he's done is he's used the qualities of the four righteous caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali, and saying that this is what Muslims used to have. They used to follow the qualities of the four of the greatest companions of the Prophet ﷺ. So, like in their speech, Muslims had truthfulness and fearless truthfulness. Right, Siddiq was the title of Abu Bakr because of his quality of being truth, and not being true, but defending the truth without any fear. Adl uskata qawi, the justice that he had was strong, and it was not it didn't become impure due to like leniency. Like it wasn't looking for leniency when it was time for to do justice in what was right. It was done, just like Umar radiallahu an. Shajar fitrat Muslim ta haya se namnak. The tree of the nature of the Muslim was wet with haya, with having some dignity and modesty of Uthman radiallahu an. And then fourth is what he says, the tashujaat mein wo ek hasti hai fawqal adrak, that he was his shujaat is like a bravery, right? His bravery was beyond logic, just like the bravery of Ali radiallahu anh, right? It didn't demand logic. That when you're brave, you do something for the sake of God, and you're not thinking of whether you should take the action or not. And then in the Farsi lines, these are lines that are, again, I don't know Farsi, so it's hard to define. But what he's trying to say here is that their condition was to avoid selfishness. That whenever these people in the past did something, the Muslims in the past, they did it for the sake of God. But what you're doing is the opposite of that. And in the next stanza, he says, "Har Musalman रगे बातिल के लिए नश्तर था, उसके आईने हस्ती में अमल जौहर था, जो भरोसा था उसे कुव्वत बाजू पर था, है तुम्हें मौत का डर उसको खुदा का डर था। बाप का इल्म न बेटे को अगर अजबर हो, फिर पिसर काबिल मीरास से पिदर क्यों कर हो। That like Muslims in the past, every Muslim was like a lancet, was like a weapon for the vein of falsehood, rage batil, right? Um, and in his existence, in his mirror of existence, his action was important, meaning he was always about acting on something. It wasn't just ideas. And any reliance that he had was on the strength of his arm, right? Um, and you are afraid of dying. है तुम्हें मौत का डर, उसको खुदा का डर था. He was afraid of God, not of death. And if the knowledge or the tradition of the father is not remembered, asbar means to remember. बाप का इल्म ना बेटे को अगर अजबरो, if the knowledge and the ways of the father are not known or not remembered by the son, फिर पिसर काबिल मीरास पिदर क्यों करो, then why should the son, why should the progeny inherit the legacy or the heritage of his father if he's not following his ways. हर कोई मस्त में ज़ौक़ तने आसानी है, तुम मुसलमान हो ये अंदाज़े मुसलमानी है दरी फ़क्र है नए दौलत उस्मानी है, तुमको असलाफ से क्या निस्बत रूहानी है। वो ज़माने में मुअज़्ज़ज़ थे मुसलमान होकर, और तुम ख्वार हुए तारक क़ुरआन होकर। That everybody, every Muslim these days is intoxicated with what? With ease, comfort, comfort for themselves, right? Tane asani, zoke tan asani. You call yourself Muslims. Is this the way the Muslims are supposed to be? Hadari faqr hai, na daulat, ne daulat ismani hai. That, in the past, again going back to the Sahaba, the Ali and Uthman, where Ali, who had simplicity and poverty in his life, and Uthman, who had a lot of wealth. Right? Neither do you have that poverty and that simplicity that in your life, and nor do you have the wealth of Uthman. Then how are you following the predecessors? Are you doing it just through your, the connection that you feel that you have is what's the spiritual connection? Like you're not really doing anything that's as actionable. They were what? They were वो ज़माने में मुअज़्ज़ज़ थे मुसलमान होकर. They were respected, respectable in their time for being Muslims, meaning they followed Islam, true Islam, and that brought them the respect. And what happened to you? You became you became a disgrace, and the reason for that was why? Because you denied and you rejected the Quran. So, if you want their level of benefits and closeness to Allah, then you have to follow their methodology and their ways as well. And again, they're talking about more of those qualities. तुम हो आपस में गज़बनाक व आपस में रहीम, तुम खताकारो खताबी व खतापोश व करीम, चाहते सब हैं कि हो ओज सुरैया पे मुकीम, पहले वैसा कोई पैदा तो करे कल्ब सलीम, तख्त फ़ग़फ़ूर भी उनका था शरीर शरीर कै भी, यूं ही बातें हैं कि तुम में वो हमीयत है भी. So he's saying that the qualities that Sahaba had, that they were like, you have a lot of anger and resentment towards each other, and they were very kind and merciful. You not only commit sins, but you look for errors and faults in others. They were not only forgiving of errors and faults, but they actually hid khataposh. They would hide the faults of others. And everybody desires like to have a high place, placement in this world, but you have to do what? You have to bring a heart, a sound heart, to achieve that level. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about a prophet who came to Allah wajarabahu biqalbin salim, with a heart which was sound, which was had submitted itself completely to Allah. And then going back to the Sahaba, the what did they get? They got takht faghfur bhi unka tha, sarir ke bhi. Takht faghfur refers to the throne of the Chinese, because some of the Chinese kings at the time had the title of faghfur, or bagpur, or something like that. I think it meant like, it had to do with like son of the skies or heaven or son of God. I think it's also a word that was used at the time for to describe Prophet Jesus. Sarir ke, sarir again means throne, and ke goes going back to the Persians. So they had the thrones of Chinese and the Persian, and you are, yeah, like all of this stuff you're just saying, but do you actually even have the same dignity, right? Like, in order to gain the same level of power, you have to have the qualities, but you don't have those qualities. And so this is why all this is just talk, and that's why you're not getting the same level of benefits as them.